Now, Connecticut News 30 at 6.
She was a wonderful girl, very, very sweet, very innocent.
Shock and horror after a young woman is brutally murdered by a man she thought she knew.
He claimed something snapped and it made him violent. He beat her, apparently knocked her out of the car, beat her some more, stomped on her, then rolled her over with the car.
Hi, everybody. Even the police called tonight's top story a sickening homicide.
Southington police make a quick arrest in the case as Connecticut News 30 was first to report. Right now, a Waterbury man is behind bars after he was apprehended early this morning. The victim was from Naugatuck, last seen at a Waterbury nightclub. And Bob Wilson is live in Southington where her body was discovered. Bob.
That's right. Police for the last 24 hours have been scouring this street in Southington. They found tire tracks. They found a lot of clues and evidence in the trees and in the shrubs. They even have a confession. But one thing they don't have tonight is why. Ricardo Pereira went before a judge on murder charges this morning. His bail was doubled to $2 million. Police say he told them that he killed 22-year-old Lisa Orgnon, and that the two were acquaintances and had known each other only for a little while when they went out on Wednesday night. This afternoon, the judge sealed the file in court, and all police will say is that the last place Lisa was seen alive was at a bar here in Waterbury. Where did you see her?
I saw her basically right there, face down on the ground.
Thursday afternoon, a neighbor saw Lisa's body in Southington and called 911. After working throughout the night, police arrested Pereira. They say he confessed to the killing.
He just turned on her, he beat her, apparently knocked her out of the car, beat her some more, stomped on her, then rolled her over with the car, picked her up and threw her in the bushes.
She was a wonderful girl, very, very sweet, very innocent.
Lisa worked in a health food store in Watertown. She didn't come home on Wednesday night, and when she didn't show up for work on Thursday, her mother filed a missing persons report. Her coworkers say she was always on time and never missed a shift. They knew something was wrong.
We heard a little bit last night, so all of us have not slept, and we've all wondered what was happening. And then we heard the final news this morning, and we've all been devastated.
And still people tonight are wondering what went wrong. Police say that he would only say that he snapped, but they don't know why. Reporting live in Southington, I'm Bob Wilson. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, and Ricardo Pereira is due back in court on murder charges next month.
The Bloomfield man convicted of killing a Walmart co-worker will spend the rest of his life in prison. Tyrone Montgomery sentenced to 65 years without parole in the ambush shooting of Gail Islib in April 1996. Islib was shot as she sat in her car in her Manchester driveway. Her family told the court about the impact of her death on the family.
As everyone in the family understands, it's a no-win situation. Gail will never be brought back, but there is closure because Tyrone Montgomery, although he'll always be in our minds, will never be on the street again to harm anyone else.
Islib says his family bears no ill will toward Montgomery's parents, who had no comment when they left court. A former cook at a West Hartford restaurant is being held on $250,000 bond. Guzlar Singh arraigned today on charges of scalding a co-worker with a big pot of hot cooking oil at the Taste of India restaurant. Police say jealousy was the motive in the attack last May. The victim suffered third-degree burns over half his body. The Vernon man charged with crashing his car through a dealership window is free after posting bond. 22-year-old Mirza Salim Beg faced charges in court today. Police say he drove his car through the Ray Seraphin Ford dealership twice after a salesman told him he couldn't buy a certain car. He'll be back in court next month.
For the second time in less than 24 hours, a fire that was caused by careless smoking broke out in a large apartment complex. A Hamden woman is hospitalized tonight in critical condition. Tom Monahan live in Hamden right now with more on the fire and on smoking policies that may or may not be in effect at privately owned apartment buildings. Tom.
Well, Joanne, right now there are no state regulations governing smoking in private apartment buildings. And that may probably not change at all, even after today's most recent fire.
The fire got really out of control. I noticed that there might have been someone inside.
The woman was first taken to Yale New Haven Hospital in critical condition, then transferred to Bridgeport Hospital. Fire officials at the scene told us that all of the evidence points to a cigarette. And according to neighbors who know the victim, they believe a cigarette was the cause.
Did she smoke?
As far as I know, yeah, you saw her smoking.
It is kind of scary because nothing like that ever happened out here.
Last night in New Haven, dozens of people had to be evacuated from the Prescott Bush apartments. 3 people needed medical attention. A woman visiting her boyfriend thought she had put out her cigarette, but she did not, and shortly after, fire broke out. So these latest incidents beg one question. do these huge apartment complexes in Connecticut have anti-smoking policies? State Representative Ellen Scalatar championed anti-smoking laws in Connecticut's public buildings 4 years ago. But she does not see that same kind of legislation applying to privately owned apartment buildings.
No matter how you do it, of course, there'll be enforcement problems. But I think a lease approach might be a good way to go.
And the people who live in these apartments say, yes, something has to be done because, as they put it, when somebody smokes carelessly and starts a fire in one of these big apartment buildings, they jeopardize not only their life, but the lives of many, many other people as well. In Hamden Live, I'm Tom Monahan, Connecticut News 30. Joanne, back to you.
Okay, Tom, and the victim in the fire has been identified now as Karen Lengyel. Officials said